guess who? Now he's dead. Ether. I got this.
Hey folks, this is ioEther. I'm back playing some more World of Tanks. As you can see, this is Ashton Shigar in his M4E8 Sherman. This is of course the Easy 8. Now, it's a tier 7 game on Malinovka, otherwise known as Kampanovka, so we'll see how that goes. And yeah, so before we actually get into the game, two things I do want to mention. First off is that Ash sent this in as kind of like a tutorial, how-to kind of thing for it being hauled down. This is how you should be using the Easy 8 if you want to dominate the battlefield with it. It is a fast, mobile tank with no armor on the front, but it does have decent turret armor and beautiful angling on that turret. Also, it's got an amazing gun for its tier. So if you just put that turret and that gun to work, this thing will sing for you, and is by far one of my favorite medium tanks at tier 6. Cromwell barely edges it out, but only because I use it like light tank and not a medium tank. Anyways, before we actually get into the gameplay, if of course you enjoy this video, please hit that like button. It really does help me out quite a bit. And if you don't like it, hit the dislike button. That will also help me out. And yes, we are continuing the trend of new thumbnails for every tank, so please hit the like button if you enjoy the new thumbnails. I will continue to put those out because I'm truly enjoying doing those again. And I have the spare money now to actually afford Photoshop every month. Yay! It's 15 bucks. It's not a lot, and yet... Anyways. So, getting into this game, we see a Cromwell firing on the move. Unfortunately, not hitting that. I can't remember if you can put a vert staff on the scene. Fairly certain you can, and honestly you should. Beautiful shots into a T-67, auto-locking onto that guy, and just putting 2 shots into him without really needing to be zoomed in or worry about whether or not the shots are going to connect. The T-67 was far enough out that he wasn't in any cover and he was just being silly. And he got himself shot because of it. Enemy Cromwell looks like he's about to die here, as he has challenged our Cromwell B and a friendly Crusader as well. Unfortunately, our Cromwell runs out in front of the enemy team and gets himself killed. So, we're going to pause this for a sec. Ash's hull armor is pretty bad. It's 60, I believe, in the front, and the turret face is something more like 120. So the front of this turret, or front of this tank, is pretty much just butter. Anything firing at anything other than an angle of like this, unless it's really low caliber, this is still not going to bounce a whole lot. Anything firing at this angle, which is the angle he's going to be facing most of the game, is just going to go clean through this tank every single time, unless it's HE and low caliber. But the turret is amazing. The turret is well angled. It's got good space armor here on the mantle, beautiful angles, and if he's sitting like this, so they have to aim up, this top section is going to be auto bounce. These side sections are pretty much going to be auto bounce. They're aiming for this little bit of cheek on either side, and that's pretty much the only... Oh, and of course the cupola. That's pretty much the only spots they're going to be able to hit him. Unless, of course, he turns the side of his turret at somebody, in which case, of course, they're just going to shoot through the side of his turret. But we'll see how this goes. He's going to push forward a little bit and try and get some shots off. He is, of course, trying to stay hull down, so he's making sure that they can't see any more than the top of his tank, which basically means that he's shooting at the top of their tank, and he's shooting into some tier 7s. So of course this is a tier 7 game. There are 2 tier 7 heavies on this hill, and there's a tier 7 TD down there somewhere. Oh look, he was last spotted by the cap circle. He may still be there. Now this gun does only do about 120 damage-ish. It's not great as far as the alpha damage, but the rate of fire, he is firing every 3 seconds. So, I don't know if he's got vents. I assume he's got vents on him. I don't know if he's got brothers in arms. I'm gonna go ahead and assume he's got vents, but no brothers in arms. So of course, if you did have brothers in arms, you can fire faster than every 3 seconds. But still, as much as we're winning this, it's kind of close because so far we have one tier 7 up here and Ash, and that's pretty much it. The rest are enemies, and they're getting to the point where they're starting to overrun this hill. And Ash is just putting shot after shot in everywhere he can, trying to hold them back. Now the one shot that of course pens him so far is the one that goes through the side of his turret, because he turned his turret and got shot inside by something. Look, an M6. Penetration on this gun is very, very nice for its tier. It is what? Come on, show me there. There we go. 128. There we go. And he burns the T-34 to death. Poor guy. M6 showing us his side. Not that he really needed to, but we're just going to keep putting shots through him. That's an HE shell, I think. Unless he just shot our gun and I didn't notice, but I think we're being fired. No. He just shot our gun. That's what happened. Anyways, head-to-head with an M6. M6 dies. Ash takes a damaged gun. She then fixes. That's it. We are winning this game, and I'm sorry, I don't know if it's from her. Oh, come on, Ash. Put the little finishing shots in this guy. No! Somebody else finishes them off. But, that was a quick and amazing battle. It was less than a 5-minute game, and that we know of. Ash did 2,500 damage. That is how fast this tank works. That's how fast the gun works. And again, the entire time, he took one damaging shell because everyone else was shooting at this turret. There is one shell through the side of his tank, but that's 4 different shells that I can see. There's 5. Right? I mean, that's a bit close. Fortunately, with the sun behind him, it's hard to see through the shadow. But yeah, so this turret is nearly impenetrable from the front at his tier. So this was a brilliant game. Thank you so much, Ash, for sending this in. This is how you guys should be playing the EZ8 if you want to play it to maximum capacity. The other way to play it is not as a frontline fighter, but as a flanker and a more like a medium tank should be. And you can rush around the flanks with this thing. It has immense speed, which we didn't really get to see this game, but it has great speed, and of course the gun traverse is pretty awesome as well. So you can run around flanks and just hammer shots in while people are scrambling to respond. This gun can fire out enough shells to make people regret letting you around their flanks very, very easily. This is a great versatile tank if you're looking to get into a tier 6 medium tank and you don't know which one to choose. Grab the E8 just until you figure out what your playstyle is. The E8 is versatile enough that you can use it for pretty much anything you need it for, and then fall back to something more like a Cromwell if you're like a Scout driver, or a Jumbo if you want to be more like that heavy tank driver. Either case, thank you so much for watching. 2,300 experience with his daily double. That was still pretty awesome. Master Badge, Ace Tanker, Shell-Proof, and an E8 with no armor, Arsonist, Fire Effect, and Bruiser, and of course the high caliber coveted award. There we go. And look, he got some spawning damage off too. And the only thing I know he tracked was the M6, which he didn't get any spawning damage for. So I'm going to guess we actually took all of his health. Yep. I think that's all of the M6's health. Good job. Look at that. Top of the board by a fair bit. You got what? Interesting. Just trying to figure out why the heavy tank with 800 damage is second on the board, but that's because he spotted another 800 damage worth, whereas our our FV just took shots to the face and bounced shots. That was a well played game, Ash. Without the FV supporting him, I'm going to say he probably still could have pulled it off because of his exceptional use of the E8. However, it would have been a much, much tougher fight without our FV supporting us. So props to him. Thank you very much for the support, sir. You definitely helped save that game. And there we go. 26 shots fired in less than probably 3 minutes of combat. I wouldn't actually be surprised if it was 2 minutes of combat and it took him 3 minutes to get up on top of that hill. But either way, that was pretty amazing. 1,000 damage blocked by armor and a tank that has no armor except on its turret. That was beautiful. Thank you so much, Ash, for saying that in. Thank you all for watching and have a great night. This is ioEther out.